What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is my hot takes card. I would just honestly say right now my card predictions for WrestleMania 42. This video tends to be a very long video, and it's probably going to, and I'm going to try to go fast, but it usually goes till insanely long. So let's get started. Starting off, we have something that I like to say I'm very thankful for recording after Raw, because it changes my answer a little bit. We're going to talk about Dominic Mysterio and the idea of what's going to happen with Dirty Dom. Now, spoiler warning, doesn't have the IC title. But the match that I thought would happen at Survivor Series might not happen, and it might be Dom versus Ray. So I'm going to show you what I was predicting and then what I'm going to predict. So it was Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio going against each other because, gotta be completely honest with you, somehow, some way, because of the Liv Morgan injury, I think they just stretched this out all the way back to WrestleMania 42 when it was a WrestleMania 41 storyline. That's what I was originally predicting, but I have a new prediction. My new prediction is still with Dominic Mysterio, but with Ray back, I am going to predict Rey Mysterio here for either two things: retirement, or what I want to see, AAA championship match. And it's Rey versus Dom here. Does that happen in actually AAA? Does it happen here? I don't know. And I'm going to predict it here since he has the title here, and I think it would be big eyes for AAA. And they could move those people to come to see WrestleMania. Or it could be a way for WWE viewers to go to AAA instead. They could do it both ways. I just have to be honest with you. I think that this could happen at literally Survivor Series. My prediction that I have right now, or what I was predicting now, seeing Ray here, is, I'm just going to predict it for now, is Dom, John Cena IC title at Survivor Series or before, and Ray costs Dominic Mysterio the title to John Cena. So you kind of protect Dom in losing to John Cena. John Cena becomes a Grand Slam champ because of Rey Mysterio. Kind of iconic, right? And then from there, we have Dom. Maybe something else happens with Ray. With the AAA championship, Ray costs him the AAA championship. Could go that route. Or he's having matches somewhere else and Rey Mysterio still costing him matches, whatever. And then we ultimately get Dominic versus Ray to happen for maybe the final time. I would love it if they do title versus career or something. And hopefully Ray would win. Next one is a feud that I actually expected to be on last video, but I actually, to be honest with you, deleted it accidentally. And that is, sadly, LA Knight versus Chris Jericho. I do think Chris Jericho is going to come back to WWE. I think through the Royal Rumble. And the person that I see him either tagging with or being just connected with is LA Knight. And I don't see what LA Knight does for Mania. I can't see it unless it's, LA Knight versus Punk. And I don't see that. And so right now, right here, LA Knight versus Chris Jericho. I guess he could do what I have some wild theories on this, and he could join something in this, but we'll talk about it. I'm still going to predict this match, but I'm going to go over it because I've been predicting it forever, and I really think that Jelly Roll keeps talking about it, and it's going to happen. It's going to be Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll at WrestleMania. I hope this doesn't happen. I really mean that. But hey, Jelly Roll has nonstop said he wants to be back into another WrestleMania match, or another match. The only person that makes sense is Logan Paul. I'm just going to throw these two together, but I'm just going to throw it. This match is because of pivots and because of changes of what's going down. I see a world where Brock Lesnar was supposed to go against Gunther or Braun Breaker. With the injury with Seth Rollins and the push of Braun Breaker, with, I think, what John Cena could have going into his final match, which I think will be against Gunther, I think we don't live in a world where Brock Lesnar can go against Gunther anymore. So when I'm thinking about the vision, thinking about the future, I'm thinking about people who I want to see against Brock Lesnar, I'm thinking Bronson Reed. And I think this would be a great match for Bronson Reed. You have Bronson Reed beat Brock Lesnar. Fantastic. You have Brock Lesnar beat Bronson Reed. There's going to be some outrage, and there's going to be fans that are going to be pushing for Bronson Reed a little bit more. I really do mean this. I want to see this match. I really do. Now, I do have another prediction with Bronson Reed in it. He wouldn't be in both matches, obviously. I'm just going to throw it out there and say that match just so you can understand why I have that match there. But I would say it's either or, and I didn't really want to mention what I was going to mention, so just throwing that out there. This one I feel like is almost 100% guaranteed, or at least they're connected in some way. I feel like it would be kind of a disservice if they just continue to have them as a tag team. I think we're going to have a babyface Charlotte Flair versus a heel Alexa Bliss at Mania. Could have some stipulations or something like that, but I think that's the route we go. Which then maybe it is for the women's tag team championships, Asuka versus Rio. Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors against, is it Rio? I think it's Rio. Maybe that's the route they go, but for now, predicting this, and I'm just going to throw this in there. U.S. title match for the women's side. I still think Julia will be champion. I hope this is what happens. I hope she loses at Mania. I really do. If she loses before, it has to be because some push, I would hope, but nothing less. I have Julia here. Who Julia goes against and where she could lose the title and where everything happens is so up in the air for me. I think to make this title feel valid and to make this title feel good, you have to have someone established to go after this title. The person they were hinting at before she lost her own title was Tiffany Stratton. So I have here a really good U.S. titles match. Julia versus Tiffany Stratton. Julia as the champion going in against a babyface Tiffany Stratton. I believe a babyface Tiffany Stratton winning this title would do wonders for this title to show its legitimacy, and I really want this match to happen. Here's a crazy match for you. I am debating right now if Becky Lynch would still have the IC title. Today's scenario, no, but maybe in the future, I think she would. And if so, obviously against AJ Lee. Well, I do believe AJ Lee will win against Becky Lynch at some point in some time. This is the match I had last time. I'm going to predict it again, and that is AJ Lee versus Roxanne Perez versus Bayley. I feel like when AJ Lee wins, the Mania match should be either against Roxanne Perez or it should be against Bayley. I think both of those have AJ Lee connections. Bayley, I think, could work better as a somewhat babyface sometimes to AJ Lee, and then is a disastrous heel against her at times, and you really see that split personality. I think Roxanne Perez could work as a really strong heel. I kind of want that to be either a retirement match or in the future match for AJ Lee. So that's why I'm going to throw out Bayley in there, and I think there could be something with a triple threat to get Roxanne Perez on the card. This is what I call a screw it. Let me just predict anything I can. TLC ladder match. I think the Hardy Boys come to WWE for it. Motor City Machine against DIY. MFT, Wyatt 6. Sadly, no Street Profits. I think they could break up. Then you have Fraxium. Sure, why not? Talking about Bronson Reed earlier, I said there could be a match that he's in later on that I predicted. This is it. I don't have just Bronson Reed in it. I have The Vision versus not just Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn and Carmelo Hayes, The Vision as World Tag Team Champions. I still think they could give it Braun Breaker winning the Royal Rumble or something like that, or Braun Breaker with a title, and then The Vision has the tag team titles. And I have Sami Zayn here because for some reason I just feel like he's going to... I have nothing for him here. I really don't. I don't know what could happen with Sami Zayn if he's not in a championship match. And I have it with him teaming up with Carmelo Hayes. I was trying to think of people that could team up to win World Tag Titles like we just have with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. That would work for the Vision because the Usos don't make sense anymore to me. So I have the Vision, probably Bronson Reed and Austin Theory versus Sami Zayn and maybe a Carmelo Hayes going to Monday Night Raw as a babyface after a while. Thought about Jacob Fatu. Not going to do Jacob Fatu. Thought about LA Knight a second ago. Maybe. The U.S. title match. Now, debated on this one for a little bit, but I hope, and this is maybe just me hoping more, I hope Ilya Dragunov is still the champion, and he's going to be the champion still here. Now, who does he go against at WrestleMania? That's interesting. I think he should go against a new debut. He should go against a re-debut, or he should go against somebody that they just want to push heavily at WrestleMania and be on the card. I'd say they're going to have an open challenge, though. And maybe Ilya isn't doing an open challenge every single week up until here. Like, he's going to obviously skip some weeks. But I have it as the Ilya Dragunov open challenge. And then we have Obafemi maybe come out and win the title there at WrestleMania. And we have an insane matchup between the two. Maybe Obafemi's already been debuted. Maybe Obafemi has already shown himself. But then I think this is the route they go so they can really push an Obafemi. But maybe it's a different route. You know how I said earlier John Cena would have the IC title and then go against Gunther? Well, that means in this scenario, Gunther is the IC title holder. And I don't think he would lose it before WrestleMania. Who does he go against? And I actually debated on this. I thought Bronson Reed would be really good. Who goes against Brock Lesnar? Probably no one then. Gunther go against Obafemi. Another one I really liked. I think that is actually a pretty good possibility. I then decided on one that I think, probably should have happened with a title change. And the last kind of reign he had, and now it switches up. No, it's not Chad Gable also. Sheamus. And we get a Grand Slam Sheamus, which maybe it's a little too early because John Cena would then become Grand Slam, and then that means Sheamus would then get the Grand Slam. Whatever. I think Gunther as IC title holder versus Sheamus would feed families, and I almost debated on adding Rusev in here, adding Penta in here, debated on just Gunther versus Penta. Ultimately decided on this. Earlier I talked about how they could be tag teams. I think somehow, some way they're going to go into singles action and go against each other with Rhea Ripley finally winning. Still could be a tag title thing, and then maybe later on with a championship on the line, it's Rhea winning. But I'm just going to throw this out here and mention this because I think this is probably the best WrestleMania match, and it just makes too much sense now. This is what I call pivot. So we have Roman Reigns here. I think the match was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. I think that was like the for sure match that was going to happen. Well, now with Roman Reigns not having a Seth Rollins here, and Seth Rollins not making it back for WrestleMania 42, who does he go against? And you know what? I see this. I see this really, really happening. I think it's not shocking with how the storyline has gone with this bloodline thing that it's shocking to predict maybe a Jey Uso Roman Reigns match, right? But I think the match is Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, and Jimmy Uso. I feel like in my head, Jimmy's more of the babyface, Roman's more of the tweener, Jey Uso's more of the heel. Jay's becoming a little bit like Roman's still whooping him. Jey doesn't care for what he says. Jimmy sees the evil in both. I feel like, first off, a really just kind of wholesome match with how they all started together and how they were part of the bloodline. I almost decided to throw in Solo Sikoa, but I chose not to. But to me, this triple threat makes sense storyline-wise, and I could see him going to this storyline. I don't know what they do with AJ Styles. I really don't. And that's the thing that I'm going to talk about here. I think his WrestleMania opponent should be either... Maybe it is the U.S. title open. I don't want that to happen probably. I think it should be a TNA championship match, either against Mike Santana or Nick Nemeth basically has their Money in the Bank briefcase right now. And maybe Nick Nemeth is the champion. So you have Dolph Ziggler come back, but I don't think he wants to work with WWE. Going against AJ Styles for the TNA championship, and then AJ Styles wins it here. Eyes on the TNA champion. It's already changed one time in NXT. Why would they not put that on WrestleMania for the title? I like it, and then AJ Styles can retire maybe in TNA. Let's go with, in my opinion, the obvious match that I'm going to be predicting for a while at WrestleMania. And that is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the WWE title. It just makes too much sense. Jade Cargill won the WWE title. I don't see her losing this title till at least WrestleMania or after WrestleMania especially, but I think this is the match, and this is another one that's pretty easy to predict. Jumping to Raw women's side, I do believe Stephanie Vaquer will be champion. I'm going to give the same prediction I gave last time. I think Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan could enter as a triple threat. Now, my reasoning was Becky Lynch, part of the vision, would get herself into there. But now, I don't know if that's the possibility. I think they might hold this storyline off to have Becky Lynch and AJ Lee at WrestleMania. And then maybe it's just Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. I don't know, though. But I don't know what to do with Becky Lynch at this point in time. I think it makes sense to have Becky Lynch. I don't know. I still have this as a triple threat, though, because I think this would be an amazing triple threat, and you could really protect the champion, Stephanie Vaquer, if you really wanted to. Looking at my men's matches, now we have, you might be saying, like, you're missing quite a lot of people. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Chill. I am predicting that the men's side on Raw, CM Punk will still be champion. Now, two things will happen. It'll either be he loses the title before or at Mania to me. I still have CM Punk here, and I think he will be going against Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker should be winning the Royal Rumble. I think that's the best way to put a lot of eyes on him, to really push over the talent. You let Braun Breaker win the Royal Rumble, in Saudi especially, which is the future for WWE, obviously. He goes, he wins, he goes against CM Punk at Mania, he beats CM Punk. It's a big name to win. CM Punk has a nice 6-month reign. Braun Breaker's the winner. I mean, there's nothing else to say. My last prediction is probably the craziest thing, but this is out of the whole video, the most stay with me now type of video. Okay, so obviously Cody Rhodes. I'm missing quite a lot of people that could be for the WWE title, okay? Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, okay? I think they're going to run it back, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, and I think what they're going to do is do the thing that they were thinking about at WrestlePalooza, where Randy Orton cost Cody the title and Cody gets screwed out and Drew wins it. So I do think Drew is the winner here. So I have Drew here. Well, what is a WrestleMania match? What is a big enough match that should be night 2 worthy, that they can have an insane matchup against everybody? I have Drew McIntyre here. I think Randy is going to still be in the match. I think because ultimately what you could do is Drew's the WWE title holder. Randy wins the chamber, or he would win chamber in this scenario. Cody is kind of a tweener and bad guy because Randy screwed him over, and Drew is Drew, and you have Cody insert himself into the match, which I don't want to spoil. Okay, good. I don't want to spoil. But there's one factor here. Who took out Jacob Fatu? And you know what? That makes me realize and change a lot of things in kind of how I'm going with this. But I'm going to keep it mostly the same. I think WrestleMania Night 2 main event is not Drew versus Cody. I don't think Randy and Cody is main event Night 2, if you want me to be completely honest with you. I think they need to go bigger and bolder. And bigger and bolder is a Randy, Cody, Drew, and then Randy, who took out Jacob Fatu and was the heel. And what we find out after a while is Randy took out Fatu, purposely cost Cody, not accidental, purposely cost Cody. You have Cody as a tweener, Randy as a heel, Drew as a heel, Jacob Fatu as the babyface, and you have a mother effing fatal 4-way. I think there's all kind of connections between the four. You have, Drew if Randy's already been a problem, Drew and Cody, Drew and Fatu. Perfect on Drew's side. Randy, Cody cost the title, took out Jacob Fatu. Cody and Fatu is a little interesting, but you could kind of throw something with like Cody like pushing Jacob Fatu, saying like, I don't care about you, I just care about my title, and you have something there. So then those two have beef, but Fatu and Drew, beef. Randy took out Jacob Fatu. The thing that you could do, though, is I think Randy and Fatu is going to be connected now for WrestleMania, and I think it's going to be those two. You could have just Randy, Cody, Fatu, but I think the fatal 4-way here, this to me, these four right here, that's main event Night 2 worthy, and I want to see that match. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please let me know what you think about this fatal 4-way. I think this is what I'm going to start booking from now on, because I think there's connections between all four of them, and I think if Jacob Fatu technically doesn't know who took him out, which I don't think they'll do that way, These are the three that he'll blame, and I do believe it'll be Randy from learning that it's a punt kick taking out his teeth. So I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.